me go live in my group. Oh, let me just turn my light on real quick. Oh, my thing follows me. There we go. All right. I think we're live in all the places. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 15. And yes, we are. Everybody's joining me there. Good. Hello, everyone. Okay. Welcome to day 15 of our 21-day journey through the heart of creation. So we are 15 days in now. I'd love to hear from those of you who have been joining me, how you're feeling. If you've noticed any changes, I'm having a sniffly morning. I've been having really crazy allergies the last couple of days, and it's something in my house because when I'm not home, I stop sneezing and sniffling. So I'm trying to figure that out. So today I have some really fun things planned beyond our Heart of Creation connection. I'm going to run the activating the ability to heal the self and others alignment today for the Heart of Creation. And then I hope you guys can stick around with me, because after that, I'm going to actually break down what is an alignment? What is happening? What's inside an alignment? What makes alignments special and different from other healing tools? I'm going to tell you guys exactly what and how I create them without giving away all my proprietary sort of methods that I've spent the last 8 years creating. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek inside the alignment that I'm running for you guys today. And tell you a lot of what is in there. Not everything, because we'd be here for a long time. The instructions for that alignment are several pages long. But I'm going to give you a really good idea of what's inside that alignment, and hopefully that will help you understand how alignments work and what makes them so unique and different, and what they're utilizing. So I hope you can stick around for that. And then after that, I'm going to stay live in my Facebook group, Sacred Soul Alignment with Elysia Hartzell. And I'm going to do some personalized healing. I've done this a couple times in the last couple weeks, and it's a lot of fun. So how that's going to work, and I'm going to only do it in my group. Last time I did it on YouTube and Zoom as well, but honestly, it just really interrupts my flow of how I'm channeling to have to look in multiple places at once. So it was great and it was fun last time, but it really I flow so much better when my focus is not scattered. So I'm going to be doing that only inside the group. So if you're joining me on Zoom or YouTube or my Facebook page, hop on over into the group, and I'll announce that when that's time for that. And then whoever's there live can comment, and I will intuitively choose. I've been getting to all of the comments the last couple times. I may not have time for that today since I'm also doing this other little mini class, but we'll see how it goes. And everybody can receive whatever healing that they resonate with. So whether I choose your comment, whether you comment at all, or if you're watching the replay, you can receive all of the healing that I'm bringing forward that you would like to receive. So we're in for some fun today, and let's just get started. I'm going to be using 3 of my crystal tones, crystal alchemy bowls, and they are the ones I've been using the last few days. This is the green goddess bowl, and that's my largest bowl. And I'm also using my smallest and favorite bowl. Don't tell the other bowls that this is my favorite, but this is my ruby I guess it's just ruby indigo bowl. And this one's really special because it belonged to a really special lady named Bev, who owns the Crystal Bowl Shop in Mount Shasta. And she's retired from doing this work, and she has sold a few of her personal collection. And I was honored enough to be able to purchase this bowl. And then I'm also using this one, which is my Azeztulite Platinum bowl. And I'm going to bring these two smaller ones with me to Maui. So we'll have those for our first two Sacred Soul Alignment classes that I'm going to be teaching from Maui. So let's get connected. I'm going to guide us all into the heart of creation, and I'm going to run the activating the ability to heal the self and others. So just taking a moment to get comfortable, sitting up with your spine straight and your feet flat on the ground or lying flat. Bringing all of your awareness into the present moment and just relax. Closing your eyes, allowing yourself to land right here, right now. Allowing your body to relax even more. Now placing your focus and awareness onto your heart and just breathe. Allowing your breath to slow. Allowing your body to relax even more. Allowing your breath to slow and deepen, breathing as if you're breathing directly from your heart. Allowing your inhale and exhale to slow to about a count of 5. Inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing this long, slow, deep breath through your heart as you bring your awareness to the energy of compassion. Compassion is one of the highest frequencies that we can access and one of the building blocks of creation. I invite you to see, sense, feel, or imagine the energy of compassion as a beautiful pink light surrounding you. And now as you breathe through your heart, using your intention to breathe that pink light of compassion into your heart, allowing this energy of compassion to fill and expand your heart. And with your next breath, allowing this energy of compassion to expand into every cell of your body, feeling the cells of your body vibrating with the frequency of compassion. And with your focus and awareness on your heart, feeling into the heart-to-heart connection between your heart and the heart of Gaia, and your heart and the heart of creation. Noticing the beautiful golden light in the heart of Gaia and the glorious iridescent light in the heart of creation. And now with your next breath, simultaneously begin to breathe this golden light from Gaia and iridescent light from the heart of creation into your heart. And as you breathe these energies into your heart, allowing the golden light from Gaia and iridescent light from the heart of creation to merge with the pink light of compassion, creating a beautiful iridescent rose gold light. Allowing this light to expand your heart even more. And with your next inhale, allowing this light to fill all the cells of your body, allowing this beautiful iridescent rose gold light to expand beyond your physical body, going 12 feet out in all directions, creating a beautiful ball of light that you are in the center of. And just taking a moment to notice how loved nurtured, safe, and protected you are in this space. And as you continue breathing through your heart, imagining the beautiful ball of light, the beautiful iridescent light flowing down from the heart of creation, connecting you with the energy of all that is, with potential, with possibility, with pure source energy, allowing this energy to move through your entire chakra column, traveling all the way down into the heart of Gaia. And imagining the beautiful golden light from the heart of Gaia flowing up, connecting you with the infinite wisdom, wealth, knowledge, and abundance that Gaia holds, coming all the way up through your entire chakra column and traveling all the way up into the heart of creation. And as these energies flow in, through, and around you, witnessing the beautiful ball of light that you are in expanding with every breath you take. And now I invite you to feel into the heart-to-heart connection between your human aspect and your divine aspect, the highest aspect of your soul that's guiding you through your human experience. And with your next breath, allowing your human aspect to merge with your divine aspect. And as you merge with your divine aspect, feeling yourself expanding into all of this light surrounding you. Feeling yourself expanding infinitely, all the way into the heart of creation, all the way into the quantum field where all potential and possibility exists. And just staying in your heart, breathing through your heart, connected to the energy of all that is, just breathe and allow yourself to expand into the energy of all potential and possibility. Good. And divine love and light calling in sacred light open here to prepare you to receive this healing. Now in divine love and light calling in activating the ability to heal the self and others. Good. This is working with a lot of belief programming that you're going to be learning about in a few minutes here. So some of us, many of us, carry unconscious or sometimes even conscious embedded beliefs, energetic oath vows, and contracts that we simply cannot be healed. That we cannot heal, be healed by others, do healing work for others. We carry the belief that sickness, pain, and struggle will bring us closer to God, or serve us, or help us expand or reach our highest potential. This belief can manifest as persistent illness, causing healers to remain sick in their own bodies, even as they are able to do healing work for others. Healers often also carry beliefs that they're not worthy of being a healer, that being a healer means walking this path in poverty, in struggle, in sacrifice, in pain, in illness, or that doing healing work is wrong or bad, and only God, priests, or doctors are allowed to do healing work. This alignment is going deep to clear your beliefs, other energy patterns such as oath vows and contracts that you must suffer in some way, experience illness, or feel spiritual or emotional pain to be able to live or work as a healer. The beliefs around being unworthy and undeserving or lacking the ability to do healing work. This is also activating your own innate, natural ability to do healing work and to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually healed through your own source connection. So just allowing this alignment to work deeply within your energy field, within the cells of your body, within your mind and your heart. unwinding these blockages, these energy patterns, and unlocking more of your own potential. You may even have an awareness of your cells beginning to vibrate and parts of your DNA unlocking remembrances of gifts that you have had, that you hold, abilities, unlocking the remembrance of being a healer and being healed. Good. Let's anchor all of this in now. Anchoring in these newfound, unlocked awarenesses, remembrances, abilities. Anchoring in all of the healing. Calling in sacred light close. Anchoring this into your heart and your higher heart, your mind and your higher mind. All the cells of your body, your DNA, your chakras, your nervous system, your energy bodies, your Earth Star chakra, the heart of Gaia, your soul grid, your soul and Akashic records, and into any dimension or reality where any aspect of you exists. And as you prepare to bring yourself back into this current moment, just reconnecting here with the aspect of you that is the healer. Good. Now taking a deep breath. And open your eyes when you're ready. All right. Welcome back. Just looking at all the comments here. Hattie says this is one of her favorite alignments. This is the very first one that we start out with in class. This is one of the first alignments that ever came through, actually. And when it came through as an intact activation. And I'm going to talk about what that means in just a minute here. And over the last 8 years, I have this alignment, and all of the alignments really have been through many upgrades. And I've really built it out in the way that I build out alignments now, the way that I create alignments now. And I'm going to be talking about that here in just a moment. And I'm still rocking. The energy is still processing. Lisa says, I didn't want to open my eyes. I was in a peaceful place. Yes. Carol says, powerful. Good. So This is day 15. We're moving into day 16 tomorrow. There's 5 days left before we begin our 9-month Sacred Soul Alignment Immersion. We begin actually on our final day of the 21-day experience. That's just the way that it happened to work out. I didn't even plan it that way. So a lot of you guys have been joining me every day, and it's an amazing gift that you're giving to yourself to begin to create this kind of commitment and this kind of habit of doing this work, setting yourself up for your day in the best way that you possibly can, getting connected to your own divine aspect, to Creator, to this planet that we live on, and going about the rest of your day from that space. Ooh, Mimi says, took the pain down from my belly button to rib cage. More manageable now. Beautiful. Good. So a lot of you guys are joining me too for this little mini class that I'm going to do. Sue says, I will miss these so much. Very grateful. I know, I'm going to miss you guys too, but thankfully I'm going to get to spend the next 9 months with many of you. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope you'll stick around now for what I'm going to be talking about next. And I'm actually going to record this separately. Bear with me for just a moment here while I try to figure out this new way Zoom is set up. There we go. Okay, so have you ever wondered, what are sacred soul alignments? How do they work? What are they doing? Can anyone learn to use them, or do you have to be gifted or already a practicing healer? And what makes them different about all the other many healing tools out there, many of which are very amazing themselves, but what makes sacred soul alignments different? So there are a lot of people and modalities out there using energy activations, and many people still do not really understand what an activation is. An energy activation basically activates something within you or for you. Although I believe everything is already within us. So they're all, in my opinion, activating something within you. Sacred Soul Alignment was actually one of the first modalities out there using activation style healing tools in 2016. But they are much more than activations. This is why I called them alignments all those years ago. Partly to differentiate my modality from other modalities that were using the word activations. One in particular, I wanted to differentiate myself from that. But I believe that the word alignment is more appropriate for what they are doing. They are aligning us to our own divine nature and qualities, and doing this in a very unique way. So as they align us with our own divine nature, they are also vibrating out or dissolving anything that is not our own divine nature, bringing us back more fully into that true aspect of ourselves. So we can use the analogy of computer programs or apps to describe alignments. I think this is the closest analogy that I can use to tell you or describe alignments that's going to really sort of bring it home for you. So a computer program or an app is defined. If you look up what is a computer program or what is an app, the definition is a specific set of ordered operations for a computer to perform, a program designed to carry out a specific task. So if you think of our body as the computer in this analogy, so think about opening an app on your device, your phone, your computer, your iPad. You click on that app and seemingly magically. You have access to information, think Google, for example, or the ability to alter or change something. Think Photoshop or a photo editing app, for example. But someone had to write the code to create the app or the program. And that is what I have done in creating Sacred Soul alignments. I have written the energetic code that is the program of each one of the over 500 Sacred Soul alignments. And it's been my life's work for the last decade. I began receiving and creating alignments in 2016, but if I had not created and done all of the things that I did before that, alignments would not be what they are today. So I'm going to be sharing what type of instructions are written into the code of alignments in just a minute. But first, to use another computer programming term, macro. So macro has a couple different definitions, but this definition that I'm going to be using is a computer programming term. The name and the words to run the alignment act as a macro, which is a single instruction that expands automatically into a set of instructions to perform a particular task. So what that means is when I or a practitioner who is attuned to an alignment says the macro, which is in divine love and light, run, and I'm going to use a particular alignment through this whole example, activating the ability to heal the self and others. That is the macro that expands automatically into a set of instructions to run everything that makes up that alignment. The instructions, the code written for that alignment unfolds for the individual or individuals that are receiving that alignment. So within those instructions is the coding that makes up the packets of energy, alignments, coding that contains specific instructions and frequencies that are working with the various energy patterns that are contributing to or causing an issue, from emotional pain, physical disharmony, painful patterns that keep reoccurring in our life, painful relationships, and more. Many of these instructions are carried out using foundational sacred light healing tools that I co-created over a decade ago with my best friend and business partner, Kimberly Carlson. Together we created the whole sacred light modality, but it started with 6 foundational tools that address specific types of energy patterns. We created these tools because at that time, we wanted something faster and more comprehensive than what we could find in the energy healing world. And we just knew deep down in our hearts that more was possible and we couldn't find it out there. And so we realized that we were actually being called to create it, not just for ourselves, but for the people that we were working with, the people in our lives, our families, our clients. We didn't even have the awareness at all at that time that we were actually being called to step up and teach and pass on all of these tools that we have created both together and separately. But we just knew, we knew that more was possible. And so we started working on creating these 6 foundational tools, which are the foundation that sacred light, sacred soul alignment, and energetic allergy healing were built from. So there are many different types of energy patterns, and these energy patterns are the various roots to most of our wounds, our repetitive challenges and problems in our lives that we are creating and recreating and getting stuck in, and sometimes it feels like a hole that we can't get out of. So the main energy patterns that alignments address are beliefs. So negative beliefs. Beliefs are the building blocks of our perception. They shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. And negative beliefs limit our potential and our well-being, and they can actually cause a lot of chaos and harm in our own lives and even in the lives of other people around us. And then we have belief systems. They are collections of beliefs that are interconnected. So for example, religious, cultural beliefs. Some of these can be based on our personal experiences that inform our behavior, our thoughts, and our emotions, providing a sense of identity and belonging. So a belief may be just a singular belief, but we could have a belief system about what the world is like, what life is like, that, life is painful, and that there's no other way to live life but through suffering. That's a one tiny example of a belief system. And then we have negative programming. Negative programming refers to the subconscious beliefs and thought patterns that have been imprinted on us, often from a young age. So between the ages of when we're in the womb all the way through about age 6, we are in the theta brain state. We're very impressionable, and all of our experiences that we're having are creating this programming, and a lot of it is negative. 90 to 95% of our programming is unconscious by the time we are 35 years old. And this programming can be very limiting and create self-sabotaging behavior. A lot of this programming comes from our family, from society, from past experiences or traumatic events, and it also can come from literally our ancestral lineage. This programming came in through our DNA that we were born with, and we can change it, and we are changing it with these tools. And then we have negative crystallized thought forms. These are like dense, energetic, almost entities created from our own reoccurring negative thoughts and emotions that we think and feel over and over and over again until it's like it becomes crystallized. These can be more difficult to release, but alignments are working with these and release them very effectively. Then we have karmic loops and karmic loop patterns. These are deeply intertwined with beliefs, belief systems, negative programming, and negative crystallized thought forms. So karmic loops are patterns of behavior, thought, and emotion that are repeated across a single lifetime or many lifetimes. They're often the result of unresolved issues, lessons that we didn't learn. So have you ever noticed that the same thing keeps showing up for you over and over again until you learn that lesson? It may be a relationship pattern. It may be a financial sabotage pattern. It may be a particular type of illness. Maybe you could keep getting sinus infections. That's related to all of this stuff. So these loops keep us stuck in these patterns that don't serve our highest good, influencing our experiences and interactions in a way that keeps echoing that past karma. And this can continue lifetime after lifetime unless we resolve it. And then we have those karmic loop patterns that are specific reoccurring themes or issues that arise, such as patterns of abandonment. I've been talking a lot about that throughout the last few weeks, that has been one of my main patterns in this lifetime. And it was my very first experience in life. I was born 4 weeks premature. I was in an incubator. At that time, it was 1970 in an army hospital, and things were much different then. So I was in an incubator. I was not held or really touched other than through the hole in the incubator for the first 4 weeks of my life. And that set me up for pattern of abandonment or feeling abandoned throughout my life until I had the awareness when I was about 42 that this is what happened. And because that was my first experience in my life, that's a strong indication that I actually came into this life with that karmic loop already embedded. So we keep recreating these cycles over and over again until we stop it. And that's what alignments are doing. We have embedded negative emotions. These are deep-seated emotions that we have internalized over time. These are often a result of trauma or unresolved issues, and they can be a result of our belief programming, of these karmic loops and patterns. They can also create belief programming. So all of these things are intertwined in sometimes a very complex, like root ball. Like if you can imagine, plant that's been in a pot that's too small and it has this really intertwined root ball. That's what all of these things can be like. And it takes some unwinding, and that's what alignments are doing. Feelings, which are the conscious experience of emotional reactions. They're how we interpret and label our emotional experiences in that moment. Pain bodies, you may have heard that term. I actually have an alignment called pain body. This is a concept introduced by Eckhart Tolle, referring to the accumulation of old emotional pain that almost all humans carry in their energy field. It's basically the trauma and emotions that we didn't process or deal with in that moment. And so they just compile, and they can create actually a separate consciousness of their own eventually if we don't resolve it. Then we have feeling patterns, which are habitual emotional responses formed over time, repetitive ways that we experience and react to situations. These patterns can become so ingrained that they shape our very personality. And then we have some energy patterns that you hear me talk about a lot: oath, vows, and contracts. So what are these? They're slightly different. Oaths are solemn promises. In energy healing, oaths are binding spiritual contracts made by an individual's higher self often, or soul, with other humans or entities or the universe itself, God. We believe, that may not be true, that we're making an oath to God. But it's within our own construct. And then we have vows. Vows are similar to oaths, but they're generally more focused on personal commitments made to oneself or another. An example of that would be a vow of poverty, a vow of chastity, a vow of silence that a monk or a nun might take when they enter into that, that role in that specific type of religion. Vows can create powerful energy ties or cords to the entities or ideals that these vows were made to, which can affect our life path and our choices. And they can really limit. So if we took a vow of poverty, for example, 5 lifetimes ago, but it was so important to us that we hold that energy lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, that one vow can be blocking our financial abundance. And if that is something that a person is holding and it's cleared, I have seen abundance open up for people after clearing one specific vow like that, including myself. And then contracts are spiritual or energetic contracts are agreements made usually before entering this physical dimension. So they're more about pre-life agreements that we made, and we can change them. We can rewrite those contracts, and that's one thing that alignments are doing. And then we have a couple of more dense type of energy patterns, which are entities and implants. Entities refer to non-physical beings or consciousnesses that can interact with or attach to our energy field, even to our body, to organs in our body. Entities can carry many forms of consciousness, from bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Those are forms of entities because they have their own separate consciousness. To unresolved emotions, negative thought forms, and traumas that compile in our energy field, that pain body, to literal dark, negative consciousnesses that attach to us and drain our energy and drain our light. And alignments are addressing all of these types of different forms of entities. And then implants. Implants in the energetic context refer to non-physical devices or energies that have been inserted into the energy field of an individual. They can manipulate, block, or influence the natural flow of energy within the person's system, potentially affecting their thoughts, emotions, and physical well-being. And I've actually worked with a lot of people who had implants over their crown chakra or their third eye that were blocking their awareness of their own source connection or their own ability to use their intuition. They weren't really blocking their connection to source or their intuition, because that doesn't ever truly get blocked, because that's who we are, right? But they were blocking their ability to perceive it. So alignments are also downloading new positive beliefs and emotions. Installing these beliefs using the Sacred Light Intention download tool, which is built into all of these alignments, every single one. They're bringing them in as tangible feelings deep within our DNA, into every cell of our body, and embedding them into the subconscious and conscious mind. This helps us to embody the belief, not just as a concept, but as a lived experience, making it a powerful, powerful catalyst for transformation. So, for example, the way this works is if a person has, this is an example that we use a lot, but it really, I feel like it brings it home. If a person has never experienced joy before, it can be difficult to find or create joy because they don't know what joy feels like. They don't have that joy receptor. And it's really important. So downloading it is sort of the ingredient that is the ignition switch to creating joy, or whatever experience it is that the alignment is working with to bring in and anchor in. So once that feeling of joy has been energetically downloaded, it creates the neural pathways and the cell receptors to begin creating the experience and feeling of joy in their reality, or whatever it is that the alignment is working with. So as we can just have even 1 second of joy, then now we have that receptor in our brain, and over time we're going to create, it's going to be looking for that receptor is going to always be seeking that, finding that, calling it in. And over time we create more and more experiences that hold this frequency. It's also downloading all of these things that the alignments are working with, what it feels like to be safe, worthy, to have permission to, that it's possible, that we know how to, and then we're already living this way, which brings it into the present moment. It's also bringing in creator's perspective on everything that's being activated within that alignment, activated, downloaded, brought in, so that we can have the highest perspective possible. Because our human perception of joy might be very different from source perception of joy. And so we might be seeking and trying to find a distorted version of joy. Why not find the purest form of joy and experience that? So I'm going to be giving you some examples of all of these things when I peel back the curtain on activating the ability to heal the self-alignment here in just a minute. So each alignment is also attuning you to a specific frequency or vibration. Alignments are working with multiple sacred and quantum technologies to accomplish this and more. Sacred light technologies such as the Sacred Light Vortex, Sacred Light Transfiguration device, and turbine technology, and many more. There's about 20 sacred light technologies, and most of them are working in each alignment in a very specific way with a very specific set of instructions, as well as multiple sacred soul symbols. You guys are probably aware this is another healing modality that I received and created. These alignments are graphic representations of quantum spiritual technologies. These alignments work beyond time and space to heal your past, your present, and your parallel reality experiences, as well as experiences throughout the collective and even the DNA level of your ancestral lineage. Because of this, the effects of sacred soul alignments are very widespread. When you work with this modality on yourself or for another person, you're healing your or their entire lineage and rippling that healing out towards all of humanity, because we are all connected. The energy packet, the alignment, begins with a template, and I update this template regularly. Every time I teach, so every year, I update that template that is the container, basically, that holds that alignment and holds all of those instructions. With any new information that I receive, any new tools or technologies that have come in or that I've created, within this template is activating these technologies, as well as a very specific and detailed instructions for carrying out the healing. So for each technology that's getting activated, I'm giving it a very specific job, a very specific instruction. I'm not going to be sharing all what's in that template because that's truly the culmination of my life's work, but I'm going to be showing you an example of some of what is inside an alignment. So when alignments first started coming in for me in 2016, they came in as an activation because that was my understanding at that time. And so that's what I understood them to be. So I talked about a few minutes ago what an activation is. It's activating something within us, right? And so they would come in as just energy. The first one that ever came in was I was hiking in Mount Rainier National Forest with my youngest daughter. And we were in this old growth forest called Ohana-Kapash. And these trees are hundreds of years old. And I just felt this energy come in, and I recognized it because I was working with other energy activations at that time. And I heard the words, wisdom of the trees. So I went and I laid my back against a particular tree that I was really feeling was guiding me there, and received this, what became an alignment. And I actually sat down and recorded myself running this wisdom of the trees alignment. Or at that time, I called it an activation because I didn't fully understand yet. And then they kept coming in for me. And, I would hear a phrase or a word, and I would feel the energy come in, and I recognized it in my body and in my cells. And that was my understanding at that time. And then pretty quickly after that, I had the awareness that I didn't have to wait for this energy to, spontaneously come in. I could create an alignment, and I could do it with this. At this time, it was just a very simple ball of light with these instructions in it. They were pretty simple at that time. And that was 8 years ago. And over time, I've received, at that time, I didn't know, I'd never heard of spiritual technologies. I had no awareness of that. And then in 2017, the first spiritual technology came in for me. It was called the Vortex of Creation. An iteration of that became the Sacred Light Vortex. I actually pass on the Vortex of Creation in Sacred Soul Alignment. And then I began working with the Vortex of Creation as sort of the container that the alignments were running through. And, that was 8 years ago. And so every time my awareness upgrades, a lot of practitioners have been sharing their experiences with Sacred Soul Alignment, and many people have said, that I'm continually upgrading, and I do not stop doing my work. I work on myself with these tools every single day, and I'm constantly investing in my own energetic expansion. And so every time I receive something new or get a new awareness or learn something new, that gets built into the alignments. They're not static. They're constantly evolving and constantly upgrading. And when you come into Sacred Soul Alignment, you get those energetic upgrades. And I normally do not charge for students and practitioners to come back through over and over and over again unless I add something big. This time I'm teaching, it's going from a 12-week class to a 9-month class, and I'm adding over 50 new alignments and a ton of new teaching. So there is a nominal fee for practitioners to come back through. But it's going to be well worth it. It's just $297, and you guys receive all of that new stuff. So alignments are continually evolving, and the very first original alignments that I created have continued to evolve, and they've expanded to be just as full and, all the things that the new alignments have that I am creating. So I'm going to break down for you guys one alignment that you just received. If you were in my 21-day Heart of Creation journey, and that is activating the ability to heal the self and others. So this alignment is clearing your beliefs. Now you guys are going to have a little bit more awareness of what some of these things are. Your beliefs, oath, vows, and contracts, that you must suffer in some way, experience illness, feel any kind of emotional or spiritual pain to live and work as a healer, beliefs around being unworthy and deserving, lacking the ability to do healing work, and it's also activating your own natural ability to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually healed, and to do this healing work with others. So this has a lot of very specific belief clearing in it. There's hundreds of beliefs. I'm going to give you guys a handful of them so you can get an idea. So it's working with those foundational sacred light healing tools that work with all of the energy patterns that I just talked about, to clear beliefs such as God is a punishing God, a vengeful God, a selfish God. God hates me. God is punishing me. Beliefs like I must walk this path in poverty, in struggle, in sacrifice, in pain, in illness. It's not safe to be in my body or on this planet. I am a victim. I must carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. I alone am responsible to heal, save, or help the world. I cannot trust my heart. I cannot trust my intuition. I'm unworthy or unable to communicate with God, guides, angels, or masters. This is deep religious programming. My abilities are a curse or a burden. I am unworthy or undeserving of receiving healing. I must punish myself or others by not healing or by being a victim. Beliefs like life is hard, pleasure, joy, or happiness is wrong, it's a sin. Suffering will get you close to God. Suffering gets you into heaven. I grew up with those kind of beliefs. So deep religious programming. It's wrong to ask for anything. I am unworthy of shining my light in this world. There's also beliefs around things like receiving money for doing healing work is wrong. All service work must be done for free. I see that type of programming so pervasively in a lot of groups of healers. I must sacrifice myself to do this work. So that's a handful of the type of beliefs that are getting cleared. And then we may be clearing a belief, I must sacrifice myself to do this work, right? That may be the belief that's holding 1,000 other beliefs in place. And so when we're clearing that belief, it could potentially be, this alignment could potentially be clearing thousands or tens of thousands of beliefs. So it's also downloading new positive beliefs. Actually, I'm going to get to those in a minute. First, I want to talk about the oath, vows, and contracts. So it's also clearing oath, vows, and contracts. We talked about those energy patterns. Oath, vows, and contracts, for example, to suffer or sacrifice in order to heal or be healed. So we might have a belief that we have to suffer or sacrifice in order to heal or be healed. But we might have an oath, vow, or contract that's actually holding that belief in place. So if we were using another modality that's just working with beliefs, and we cleared that belief, we might clear it for a second, but then it's going to come right back because we have a contract or a vow that we made that we are unaware of, that we have to suffer or sacrifice in order to heal or be healed. So it's really, really important to clear all of the different components of this programming, right? It's clearing a lot of oath, vows, and contracts. I'll just tell you a few of them. And a lot of them are related to the beliefs that I talked about. Oath, vows, and contracts to take on the pain, sickness, suffering, entities, or any other negative energies from people in order to work with healing them. That's a problem. And this is related to old shaman ways. So there's different things about being a shaman, but one of the original ways that shamans worked would be to take on the sickness of another individual and then heal it within their own body. But that really destroys our life force energy. So it's clearing oath, vows, and contracts to heal as a shaman by taking these onto or into the self. We do not need to do that. And so, we don't want to hold those oath, vows, and contracts that are outdated. Maybe we had to do that 12 lifetimes ago. That's the way that the energy was on this planet at that time. It's no longer true. It's working with 1,000 contracts not to communicate directly with God or your guides or beings of 100% pure light. 1,000 contracts to have to be perfect or perfectly healed to do this work or to receive your gifts or abilities to connect to God. 1,000 contracts to learn or grow through suffering. I certainly had those until I resolved that. And then it's bringing in positive beliefs and feelings. Really important. I know what it feels like to have discernment. Discernment is of utmost importance when doing this work. I know what it feels like to have integrity, also very, very important. I know what it feels like to be protected. I know what it feels like to be a magnet for abundance through doing this sacred work. I know what it feels like to understand the truth of myself and who I am. I know how to be my authentic self at all times in all situations. I know what it feels like to stand in my truth and my divine power. I know what it feels like to reach my highest potential in this life. I know what it feels like to take inspired action, to plan and follow through with my plans. I know what it feels like to be my highest and best self. I know how to stay in my body. I know how to love and accept and cherish my body. I know what it feels like to respect myself. I know what it feels like to have a clear mind and to receive answers. I know how to live without chaos, without pain. I know what it feels like to believe in myself. I know how to stand in my truth. So there's hundreds of energetic downloads that are coming in with every time that you receive this alignment. Good. So it's also working with a few other alignments. So oftentimes I will bring other alignments into alignments. So this is also working with the pineal gland alignment, seeing with your third eye, giving away your power and activating power, religious oppression, because a lot of these beliefs around healing and doing healing work and being healed are religious programming. And spiritual detox. It's also activating the align symbol. Let's see if I have that right here. It's activating the align symbol with a specific instruction to align the individual receiving this alignment to their own innate healing powers and abilities. And it's activating the attune symbol to attune the individual to their own innate healing gifts and abilities. It's running some sacred light tools, the flush and the defrag, to assist in fleshing out the energies, emotions, traumas, aspects of self associated with the patterns that are being cleared by this healing. So it really, really helps to more easily process and integrate the healing. All alignments are have that component in it, and it's running the Sacred Soul Alignment Recalibrate to recalibrate the 4-body system, the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, to this new way of being, this new way of living, this new way of believing in yourself. And it's working with the collapsing timelines alignment to collapse all timelines that are not in alignment with this new way of being, which is more truly who you are. So collapsing false timelines, negative timelines. It's working with the sacred soul symbol spirals. I should have gotten these out. Oh, here's the attune symbol, attuning the individual to their own gifts and abilities. The spiral symbol to spiral all of this out through all time, all realities, all dimensions, all aspects of ourself, every cell of our body, and the align symbol to anchor and align symbol to align the individual to all of it, everything that's in that alignment, and the anchor symbol to anchor it all in. It really helps to hold on to the healing and the energy, and also to align you to your highest possible timeline and reality without all of these beliefs, emotions, traumas, patterns, oath, vows, agreements, and contracts that have been dissolved. And it's working with some sacred light tools to really anchor it in the highest and best way without having any type of healing crisis, really helping the individual integrate the healing. So this is one of the more simple alignments. That's why I chose it, because I could talk about it in a little bit shorter time. Many of the alignments are literally, some of them could be like 20 pages long. When I create a body or a health-focused alignment, I often spend weeks researching that body system from a scientific and medical perspective. The body system or disorder, whatever I'm creating an alignment for, the body part. And I pull from multiple sources for metaphysical healing, the emotional, belief, and trauma-related root cause of disease. And in Sacred Soul Alignment class, I share what those resources are that I pull from. I have about 5 or 6 different resources that I pull from that help me identify those particular beliefs, emotions, types of trauma that are creating or contributing to disharmony within that body system or part or that disease. And then I also use my own intuition and my experience in working with thousands of people over a decade. So I hope that this has helped you have a deeper understanding of exactly what a sacred soul alignment is and what they are all doing. I have spent the last 8 years, creating over 500 alignments. And now you can maybe get a little picture of, how that's happening and really the time, energy, and expertise involved in creating an alignment. And all of the alignments are working with only methods and modalities and tools that I have personally created or co-created. I'm not working with any other energy or method or tool other than something that I have personally created, which is the sacred light healing tools, sacred soul alignments, and sacred soul symbols. So I hope that really gives you a really good understanding of exactly what an alignment is, what sets it apart, what makes it unique and special, and what makes alignments so powerful. And also easy to integrate and easy to run, because all the practitioner needs to do is to say that macro. Remember at the beginning, I talked about a macro, and that's the words of the alignment and in divine love and light. And I talk about why these words are all part of the macro in class, but in divine love and light, activating the ability to heal the self and others, create or change it. And that is the macro, where all of what you guys just learned about and more is unfolding for the individual receiving that healing. So our 9-month Sacred Soul Alignment Immersion is starting next week in literally just 5 days. I have taken the classes from 8 to 12 weeks and created this 9-month immersion to allow for the teaching and integration to go deeper than I've ever been able to take it before. This is how I really, really want to teach. This is my preference. My heart wants to teach this way, but I can't guarantee that I'm ever going to be teaching in this way again. It's a lot of my own commitment running a 9-month class versus a 8 or 12-week class. So I'm going to be reevaluating after this round to determine if this really is the most optimal way going forward. I'm going to be taking into consideration a lot of different things. So, I can't guarantee that this won't be the only time that I'm teaching this way. So we begin next Thursday, July 11th at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. That's 4 o'clock Eastern time, and that's 9 p.m. in the UK. Classes are 2 times a month. On those classes, they'll be about 2 hours long. I'll be doing some teaching, and I'll be attuning you to all the tools that you'll be getting in that 2-week period of time and answering your questions. And then There's recorded lessons unlocked for you weekly that you can do throughout that time in your own time. So they're not super long. I try to keep my video recording teachings very digestible, usually between 10 to up to 30 minutes long. There's two options to join me. The first is the first option is just the first 2 months of the program. This is my self-healing portion of the program where you get attuned to 84 alignments to use for yourself only. And I've designed the program in this way to start out with that so that you can really receive a lot of healing for yourself, learn how to use these energies, and really set yourself up for working with other people in a very optimal way. So if you choose to just join me for that option, that first 2 months of the program, that's $9.97 until we start. It goes up to $14.97 on July 11th. And I have a 6-month payment plan for that. You can also use at checkout if you choose the full pay option. You can either use Afterpay or Klarna to split your payments up even more than what I have available internally. And then the second option, which is my favorite option, is to join the entire course. And that's the entire 9-month course. So you get the first 2 months and then you continue on for the next 7 months. And you get attuned to over 500 alignments. Over 50 of those are brand new and a lot more. There's just a lot involved in this class. There's a ton of healing for yourself. There are classes on and healing for you to build your intuition. I tune you to a spiritual technology, the vortex of creation. I teach you a somatic practice called the energetic release technique, which is working with the body to process and heal emotions and trauma. It's very powerful, and there's tons of additional teaching and healing. And I've had so many practitioners tell me that the healing that they receive in this course is worth the investment. So you receive a lot of healing, and healing sessions are an investment themselves. I charge $700 for a single session, which I very rarely do single sessions anymore. But a mentorship with me for 12 months, which is one session a month, it starts at $7,000. So, investing in our own healing with another healer is, can be very expensive, but you come away with a ton of healing, plus the ability to do this for yourself. You guys have seen how quick and easy it is to use those macros and unfold all of that healing that's built in. And you have over 500 alignments at your fingertips to be able to use for yourself and others. So if you come through the full 9-month program, you're getting certified. You may not care about getting certified. That's probably half the people that come through don't bother with the certification because they only want to use this work for themselves and their families and their friends. But some people want to do this work as a profession, and then they would want to get certified. And there's a process to get certified. It doesn't cost anything extra, but there's some extra steps that you need to take to get certified. So you have the ability to use all of these alignments, not just for yourself, but for the people in your life, the people around you. So we are starting in 5 days. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at hello@elysiahartzell.com. And I can't wait to see who's coming in with me. I'm going to put the link in the comments if anyone wants to take a look at everything that is involved. And there's also a link on there to schedule a call with me, a 15-minute call to ask questions about this program specifically. So it's not to ask questions about your, what you need to do for healing work or any of that, or to receive healing. It is to ask questions about this program. So if you have questions that you still haven't gotten answered with everything that I've been talking about, you can actually schedule a 15-minute call with me, and I have a few slots left, I believe. So I put that that link in the comments on Zoom, YouTube, and in my Facebook group. And I'll go back in and put that in on my page when we're done here. So I hope you guys have a much deeper understanding now. And we are going to move on to another thing. I'm going to stop the recording here. Yeah, Cheryl says, you spend a lot of time creating these alignments and tools. We may pay the price one time and have them at our fingertips forever. That's true. It is very time consuming, and it's a labor of love. Carol says, my best connection to you is on Zoom. Moving to Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I can do this. We are going to go into the personalized healing live stream inside my Facebook group. So I tried to do this the other day on Zoom and YouTube as well, and it worked perfectly fine, but my energy was really scattered. And I work best when I can just focus and I don't have to get into my head. I can stay in my heart and really let the energy flow and channel through me. So I'm going to do this just in my Facebook group. Sorry to those of you who are watching me on YouTube or Zoom or on my Facebook page, but come on into the group, Sacred Soul Alignment with Elysia Hartzell. And I'm going to spend some time, it's 11:11 right now. I'm going to spend some time doing some personalized healing for you guys. So comment on there with what you would like support on. And I'm going to do it right in there. And anybody can receive all of the healing that I'm bringing forward. So even if I don't get to your comment or you watch the replay, you can receive all of that healing. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream here on Zoom and YouTube and the Facebook page. So I will see you in just a moment inside my group. So thank you guys for joining me and listening to my little class there about the alignments, and I will see you in the group. Sending you all so much love, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow as well for day 16.